The Fair Sentencing Act was something that I think people should remember happened. And it was one of my proudest moments as Attorney General to stand in the Oval Office with a bipartisan group of senators and congressmen and have the President of the United States affix his signature to something. Well, I've always been an optimist about the state of race relations in this country and about the notion of reconciliation. If you look at that 2009 speech, people focus on that one phrase, a nation of cowards. But the speech itself is actually a very optimistic one and talks about the need for us to understand our history, but really essentially is all about how our future is to be written and can be written in a positive way by all of us. I came of age at a time when colonial empires were breaking down, when countries, especially countries in Africa, were becoming independent. The civil rights movement was in full bloom.
On the left, Roy Wilkins with A. Philip Randolph. They have fought their fight all of their adult lives.
I also came of age at a time when John Kennedy was President of the United States. Robert Kennedy was Attorney General of the United States. And I gleaned from them the notion that public service is a worthy thing. I was struck by the fact that just a short time ago I was in Selma commemorating Bloody Sunday that led ultimately to the 1965 Voting Rights Act. And to think that 50 years after all the sacrifices that went into the creation of that act, courageous acts by a president, that we're still battling over the right to vote, that we're dealing with voter ID laws. There's no question that these new laws have a corrosive impact on our democracy. The United States is at its best when it involves the greatest number of people in the decision-making process. You think about what you saw in Iraq and Afghanistan as people put their hands in purple ink and then held up very proudly their fingers to show that they had purple ink, which showed that they had cast a ballot. We expended a great amount of American treasure, American lives, to give people that opportunity. It's inconsistent, it seems to me, to think that we would deprive our own citizens of that same right. This is, I think, the premier civil rights award. It's named after a man who is one of my idols. People think of him as Vice President Humphrey, and he was certainly a great vice president. But I think of him also as the crusading senator from Minnesota who was at the forefront of the civil rights effort. From my perspective, this is among the greatest honors I think I have ever received.